I was born and raised in China. My mom and dad divorced when I was young, and I was the only child. So I was brought up by nannies until I was about 15 years old, and I came to the States as an exchange student. Right before I was supposed to come here, just a few months, I found out I was pregnant. Everyone around me said abortion is my only option. I went and aborted a child without telling anybody. I thought it was just going to be covered up, and I'd never have to deal with that again. And I moved on with my life. I spent the first few months not talking to anybody because I didn't speak any English. And then I think in February of that school year, my host family had done something inappropriate, and I was put in foster care. I got out of the system by getting married. That marriage didn't last very long, 9 months worth. I lived on my own for a little while, and I moved in with a boy who later became the father of my children. When our son was 2, we got married. We moved to Hong Kong. He decided that he did not want to live in Hong Kong, and he left. A friend of mine invited me to go shopping with her one Sunday, and she said, "Hey, you can just meet me after church." I said, "That's fine, and I'm not afraid of the church, so I'll just meet you at church." When I walked into church that day, the worship has already started, and I was looking for a seat. And I remember walking in, and the presence of the Holy Spirit just fell on me. There wasn't any words there, I hadn't spoken to anyone, and I just knew at that moment, like I cried, and I didn't have any reason to cry. I just walked in and tears just fell down. And I knew I was accepted in that presence, whatever that presence is, and that God loved me. That was how I met the Holy Spirit. God had also put a desire in me to work on my marriage. We moved back to the U.S., and we got pregnant with our second child right away. Her name's Allison. He was heavily involved with drugs, and I couldn't get him to stop. So when Allison was about 9 months old, I took her and our son, who was 7 at the time, out of the home. Here I am with 2 kids and pregnant with the third, and I didn't know what the future held. As my children got older, I started to think about this 4th child. During worship one day, I saw this picture of this girl, long black hair. She's standing in the middle of the field, just one large, wide open field. And I couldn't see her face, but I knew she was looking at me. And immediately I knew who she was. She was that baby. And in my heart, I knew God showed that picture to me to know that, hey, I've got her, and she's okay. She's here with me. And then she said, "Mom, it's okay. I forgive you." And I knew right away, like all this time I had held myself hostage because I had done such a thing. But that all this time, she had forgiven me. God had forgiven me. And I was free. I'm Coco, and this is me.